Hello, today we're going to talk about discovery mode. This is a follow-up video on discovery mode to a video I did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is to see the results of discovery mode, and if you want to know a lot more about discovery mode and how to set it up, I would recommend that you watch the other video, and there's a link to it just here. This is more about the results of discovery mode. Today is the 11th of April. And I'm in the UK, and UK-based people only recently got access to discovery mode. So all of April, I have allowed certain songs to be opted into discovery mode. But it's only on the 11th of April and the 11th of every month, I believe, that you will see the results of what you have put through discovery mode. Now, in my previous video, I basically put through every song that was eligible. So I put through 31 songs. And now we're going to see the results. So here we go. So we've got April's 31 songs. The start date is the 1st of April. End date is the 30th of April. So what's going to happen here is, because it's the 11th of April, we are really only getting 11 days worth of data. There's still another 18 days left in April. So you can see here there has been an audience growth of 2,291 listeners, and out of that, 2,187 are new listeners. And that's a really good thing, because you're exposing your music to new people, which I think is really cool. So, by the way, these are exposures to individuals who would have not normally heard your music. So basically, Spotify is pushing the music out a bit more than normal. And just to give you a bit of context, I normally get between 12 and 15,000 monthly listeners. So this is a decent percentage of that. So I would imagine if you get, 100,000 listeners, this is more like going to look like 20,000 listeners and etc. So just add a zero basically to these numbers. So I've had all these extra listeners, I've had all these extra streams, I've had the stream lift and the listener lift. And the more disappointing results are the very, very low saves and playlist ads. You would think out of 2,291 listeners, you would have more than 6 saves. But, it makes sense kind of, because, when someone is listening to radio or autoplay, they're not really there listening to your song. Your song might just pop up after another song that they wanted to listen to, or it might be just randomly playing in the background. And that's very typical for playlist songs to get very few saves. It's even more disappointing to see only 2 playlist ads, which is not the best. But this is all free. This is really I'm not paying for this. So I guess in some respects this is a bonus. And then the 2,726 streams, which is, going to be worth like 1 penny, probably. Just to let you know and remind you from the previous video that anything that's being pushed by Spotify will give them a commission of 30%. So, 30% of 1 cent is, is what they're going to get. And I'm going to get obviously the rest, which is not much. And what's really very, very important here is this, which are the individual performances of the songs. And not many really got a very high intent rate. And intent rate is it's for me the most important number. That's the percentage of listeners who have saved or playlisted the track after streaming it. So only a few songs got saves or playlists ads, not many actually. So not really the best results, to be honest. And only 9 out of the 31 songs got over 0% positive kind of intent rates. And only 1 song got over 1,000 extra listeners. Now, I think that 1 song got a lot of listeners because it's a relatively newish song. So that was being pushed out by radio and other playlists anyway. And these other older songs are my better performing songs anyway, so it's not a surprise to see them doing a little bit better, say, than the other songs. But when you've got 4 listeners extra, 27 listeners, you're unlikely to get many saves. And then you have a list of the rejects, the 22 songs out of the 31 that actually saw less streams in radio and autoplay compared to the 28 days before the opt-in. So they're kind of saying to you, by the way, it wasn't a good idea that you put this in because you're seeing less streams. But to be honest with you, most of these songs would have not got any radio streams anyway, because a lot of them are relatively less popular or less known songs. The only exceptions are this one here, Waiting for You. And I think the reason that one did a little bit worse is because it was a new song last month. So it was really doing well last month. And this month it was doing okay, but not as, obviously the second month is not going to do as well. So there you go. It's kind of less, I guess, than before, but I don't think it's a big deal. And 45 streams, equates to almost nothing in the Spotify world. And the rest of them, a lot of them are packed with zeros, which meant they didn't even appear on radio and have no statistics. So I think what this is telling me is don't put too many songs through. I think next time I'm going to do this in discovery mode, I'm going to put just a few songs that can perform better in the discovery mode. And it actually made me think, if you only put one song through, then all of the radio streams will be channeled and funneled through to that one song. So if you really want to push one particular song with the hope of getting Discover Weekly and all of these other good things, maybe this is a good way to do it. Just push through your best performing song. So what I've done here when I go back is, if I have a look at the setup, I've already set up May, because you can do that on the 11th of the month. So I can go and edit the campaign, and I've only put 4 songs, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 best performing songs in the May campaign. The rest of them I'm just not going to bother with. And I'm going to see if that affects the results anymore. Now, if you guys are interested, I will make another follow-up video to see how putting less songs through can affect the results, and hopefully they do improve the results. Or if they don't, if they're just the same as before. So that's the end of this video, and hopefully you guys can join me for the next one where we do that third review. And if you've got any other stuff you want to see, just put those in the comments and I will do my best to get back. Bye.